Oh, hey, Alex.
Hi, Nick.
How's it going?
I'm good.
Hey, Deep.
What's up?
I think we should start our podcast that shall not be named podcast.
We don't have a name?
Podcast.
You
We haven't
don't
gotten a
have a
name yet. But what we
will figure it
what
out.
we do have is a great agenda of talking about the NFL before the opening kick between Seahawks and Packers tonight.
I feel like this won't be on the web. By the
I
time
know.
the kickoff
I
happens.
know. Oh well. So one of those two teams won.
So one of those. Yeah, we're taping this
Before the Seahawks and Packers play.
like literally what?
A couple hours before they
Couple
play.
hours.
Anyway, it does not matter. Let's talk about the NFL because it's here. It's finally here. Everyone can rejoice that football is back.
Welcome everybody to the podcast that has yet to be named. I'm Alex Ortiz, your host here with
Nick Fortin.
And Deep Chatterjee.
Deep's a friend of the podcast here because, well,
I'm not employed yet.
he's
Basically.
But he will be, so hopefully.
Yeah, so you'll know Nick and myself from previous editions of the GI Vidcast, but here we're talking about a completely different subject. Nick, what are we talking about?
Well, we're talking about the NFL, Alex, because NFL season is upon us. The first game is tonight. Well, actually, whenever this goes up, it was Thursday night.
We're currently taping this on a Thursday early evening, I guess. It's 10 to, that's an early evening.
But basically, we're taping this because the NFL is back, and that is just such a good thing to say. I'm so happy to say that.
Yes.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great season. It was a very interesting offseason for multiple reasons. There's a lot to talk about, but today let's just focus on why the season is going to be awesome.
Yeah, let's focus on the most exciting. Why don't we say
players.
division, and then teams, and then players. So Deep, I'll pass it over to you to start. What do you think is the most exciting division in the NFL this year?
See, this is a hard one because the NFC is absolutely stacked this year, but you have to go with the NFC North.
Of course, because
Go on.
I mean there are four great teams, relative.
I
Sorry,
mean,
Detroit.
Not
Those are
even
not
Minnesota
great
isn't a great team, but Adrian Peterson makes up for that in
Oh,
countless ways.
that's completely true.
They're not a great team by any stretch of the imagination, but they are going to be interesting. Bridgewater was definitely a steal.
Yeah.
And I think very underrated. And they have a couple other weapons, Cordell Patterson, and the like. But I will say this, though. AP's kind of getting up there in age. But the fact that, the Vikings people are talking about that as a possible playoff team with the likes of Green Bay, that it's going to be a resurgent team with Rodgers now not injured. And Chicago, which, not to be biased, but
Chicago.
they're going to be pretty good.
I mean, and Chicago is stacked. First of all, for entertainment value, Matt Forte, Brandon Marshall, and Alshon Jeffrey, three of the best playmakers in the league. Then there's the fact that the defense isn't good, which means a lot of offense is going against us.
Oh, yeah.
They will get better.
Basically,
It will get better, but it's going to be a lot of high-scoring games.
Basically,
And-
what's going to happen is that Jay Cutler is going to be the gunslinger we all know and love in the NFL, as NFL fans. And now he has two really great targets on the outside, like you said, and an amazing running back who I think finished like 4th in total yards last year, right?
I think it's third.
Maybe. I mean, Forte honestly eats up yards.
No, he's as good as
amazing.
anyone. Only thing is he doesn't get as many touchdowns because of Michael Bush last year. Mm-hmm. But this year, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
So
He'll be able to punch
obviously
the
the
ball.
Bears' offense is going to be top of the league.
And we haven't even mentioned Megatron yet.
We haven't
Yet.
even mentioned Megatron yet. Even though Matthew Stafford's not going to be the quarterback's going to win you 10 games consistently.
No.
He can sling the football.
But he is like you said, just like Cutler, he's a gunslinger, and he is the least athletic looking quarterback. So that's another thing to focus on. It's kind of hilarious when he goes out there and throws for 400 yards and
Right.
looks like Chuck from the Goonies.
And Reggie Bush has had like a resurgence in his
And
career.
exactly. That's going so underrated in Detroit. Reggie Bush is as explosive a running back there is in the league. And no one
when
talks
he's
about
when
him.
he's healthy
When
and
he's
when he's
healthy.
playing well, and hopefully for the sake of NFL fans, not that I'm rooting against Detroit, but just a little bit. If Reggie Bush is throwing cutbacks in the backfield and making people miss and looking like the USC Reggie Bush of old, or even the Saints Reggie Bush of old, that'll just be fun to watch. Unless he's running against the Bears, in which case
Well, bias aside, we also have to mention the team that, if it weren't for one crucial injury,
Oh, God,
Shane
the
McClellan just pretty much fell on him.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers being out for a significant portion of the season last year. If he's on the team, they're going to be good.
No, yeah.
But the thing is, Rodgers being on the team, they're going to be great. But the thing is, I don't know how just pure entertaining they're going to be because Rodgers runs such a normal offense almost.
That is true. I mean,
Like, it's the same reason I don't like Denver and the Patriots are going to be very good teams. I don't know how entertaining they're going to be just because Peyton Manning and Tom Brady are just so quick through the rotations.
yeah.
Like, it's almost too easy for them.
That's very true, and I think to your point, maybe Eddie Lacy with the running game, which is not exactly the most
And
entertaining
Randall
thing. You know, they'll be much better on the ground, but
Yeah.
to make the argument that they are exciting, Aaron Rodgers shares the football.
He does. He moves the football all around.
Yeah, he does.
But he doesn't, he's not the gunslinger of, that Jay Cutler or Matthew Stafford are. And he's also not the first NFL player to have braces, Teddy Bridgewater. So, I mean, everyone wants to talk about Michael Sam, the first gay, football player, but or in the NFL. But let's talk about Teddy Bridgewater, the first braces-wearing football player in the NFL.
That thing says excitement.
Well,
like a kid who has braces.
Hold on. He's an upgrade over what's his face? What was it last year?
He's an upgrade over just about anyone the Vikings have had in the last 5 to 10 years.
I'm trying to think, who's their freaking guy? Christian Ponder, there we go.
I mean, it really doesn't matter who they have at quarterback as long as he gets the heck out of the way as soon as Adrian Peterson gets the ball.
Yeah.
Very true. So we're pretty much all in agreement that the NFC North is the most exciting. No votes for the NFC West?
I would have voted for them, but then Sam Bradford got hurt. I just don't think the Rams can keep up in terms of entertainment value.
The Rams cannot keep up. I mean, the top two teams in that division, San Francisco pounds the ball, and they're pretty good with Colin Kaepernick. I mean, he is exciting to watch. Mm-hmm. Same with Russell Wilson. But like you said, there are certain teams that are, they're great, but they're not the most exciting. I think, honestly, like the NFC North is sort of like watching a high-speed train wreck in the sense that, like, it probably isn't going to go well for everyone.
True.
But it's totally cool to see some teams melt down.
Yeah, I mean, the Lions are basically guaranteed.
Oh, yeah, at some point in the season.
I mean, are they playing Packers Week 17 again? Because they are, what's happening in that game.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun.
Well, okay.
Talking about meltdowns, we could go to the NFC East and just talk about the fact that literally that division is so up for grabs.
That's just the definition of mediocrity.
Well, it's the definition of mediocrity. It's also the definition of
fun. Like, Eli Manning is up and down more than any quarterback in the league. Not named. Well, Tony Romo's the other quarterback I'd put in that conversation. And who else is in the NFC East?
Well,
Tony Romo.
Just the soap opera that is the Washington professional football team.
Okay, let's not. I don't even want to talk about Washington. Honestly,
that's an excitement for a whole another reason.
Yeah, we could just talk about that later. I'll keep them out of the picture.
And hopefully Chip Kelly has another couple of tricks up his sleeve for this year.
I hope he does because that offense is fun to watch. So I guess now let's move to exciting players, right, guys? I'll go first. Honestly, I think an amazingly exciting player to watch this season will be LaShawn McCoy. Everyone wants to talk about Johnny Football and how he's going to play, especially because he was very, very exciting in college. But I would like to make the case for LaShawnee Football, which is my new nickname for LaShawn McCoy. Without Deshaun Jackson in Philadelphia, they're going to have to rely on the running game and the speed of LaShawn McCoy a lot. And just watching him play against the Bears or play against whoever on Sundays, just seeing him constantly progress through his NFL career, he is an extremely fast running back. He may be the fastest lateral movement player in the NFL. Like, legitimately, the way he cuts and the way he moves side to side is amazing to watch. He is, able to break, a 2-yard run for, 98 yards. The only other player I can think of that could do that would be Adrian Peterson, but we've talked about him so much, I'll let that one slide.
Yeah, it's also, can't just assume that Nick Foles is going to be that good.
No, we can't. So, I mean, honestly, maybe Chip Kelly puts a lot more on LaShawn, and hopefully he delivers, because I would just love to see that as a fan of football and a fan of, great running backs.
Speaking of fans of football, they really like the wide receivers, though, and I'm going to be maybe a little bit biased.
You're going to be a hometown supporter?
You know what? Sorry. But Alshon Jeffrey's just getting so much buzz. He just had a huge breakout season in 2013. And the fact that he's on a receiving core that's going to be pretty much loaded again, and probably on a better defense, have a better defense behind him, backing him up, I can see, him having just another great season. Brandon Marshall's kind of in I would say the prime of his career, and there's not that much great football left in him, although he is still going to be one of the upper echelon receivers.
Oh yeah.
But
Alshon has nothing but upside, honestly.
Absolutely.
He really does.
And Cutler's going to target him a lot more this year.
And Alshon's also a little bit different style than Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall's a little bit more physical and just strong.
Oh,
Alshon
yeah.
has that like AJ Green just like hops,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
He can get with balls
the catch radius is just
it's
incredible.
gigantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that, again, not to be biased, but that is, I think, one of the locks if you're just betting, if it's fantasy, whatever it is, Alshon Jeffery.
One quick thing before you jump in deep. Just thinking of catch radius, this triggered something in my mind. Gronkowski, if he's back and healthy, that's another man with a gigantic catch radius, and it's Tom Brady's favorite target. He might have another great year if he stays healthy.
Actually, we'll talk about that later at some point, but he's the key to the Super Bowl, in my opinion. I think the Patriots make it if he is healthy.
If he is healthy.
That's a big if.
Oh, yeah, it's a giant if.
But going on to my player,
Yes.
I'm excited for Andre Ellington this year from the Arizona Cardinals. Last year, he was a rookie, and he still made rookie mistakes. Bruce Arians, the head coach, kept him under wraps a little bit. That guy has the same explosiveness that someone like LaShawn McCoy had in his rookie and sophomore years. And this year, they finally just came out and said a couple of days ago, he's their, not every down, but starting running back. I'm excited, because last year, he had some nice plays, and he only got 10 touches a game. Hopefully this year, they can get him 20, 25 touches a game and just still go crazy.
That would be great to see.
Yeah.
I would love to see, honestly, the Cardinals rebound from just being so up and down as a team and just, become not a force, I wouldn't say, because I really like watching San Francisco and, everyone else in the West play football, but watching Arizona play football is very, very cool with Larry Fitzgerald out there.
Yeah, I mean, it would be interesting because people are very much doubting that they're going to be able to repeat as a 10-win team again.
Yeah.
But, to have more than just Larry Fitzgerald on their team as a weapon would probably be very good.
It's a scary option. Like, some of his open field running last year was amazing. He still has some work to do in between the tackles, obviously. The fact that Bruce Arians trusts him now to do that work, at least in some capacity, is a very good sign for Andre Ellington. And for us as football fans, too.
I agree.
So now let's just make a prediction that will literally mean nothing 4 months from now.
Yeah, why don't we just close up this podcast with just, blowing smoke here and making predictions about a game that's going to be in February.
The obligatory Super Bowl pick for something that could be not at all what we think. Deep, let's start with you.
I love paying too much. I got
put you on the
Denver.
spot.
I got
Denver.
Denver over, let's say, Green Bay.
Just so you know, he is the biggest Peyton Manning fan I've ever seen.
Ever.
It
I know.
was painful to watch the last Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, thanks
Sorry
for putting
to
that on
my-
TV.
sorry
All
to
my
my-
friends are going to see this, but all right.
This is not
It's not on TV. I mean, it's going to be on the internet.
No,
No one's going to
whatever.
see this.
Yeah, no one watches YouTube videos anymore.
Why would they do that?
I guess if I had to pick, I'm just gonna, I would say San Francisco over New England. I think New England is the last really great year they can have. Tom Brady is just itching to have, I'm sure he's totally TO'd for having one of his best offensive linemen throughout the years being let go. He has a now new young guy, backing him up that people are really talking about for whatever reason. Sorry, Jimmy. And I think he can just push his team and San Francisco. People say that they may regress, but I don't. And the suspension and whatnot are going to catch up with them maybe, but I don't know. I don't see it. I have too much faith in probably one of the more complete teams in the league.
Honestly, I would love to talk about the Bears right now, but I'm going to put my bias aside and say that Seattle makes it to the Super Bowl and they lose to New England for Brady's fourth Super Bowl ring.
That'd be his fourth,
Maybe he can come back the following year and get a full hand going. Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, rooting for that to not happen.
I mean, you never know.
You never know. No, it's all about who gets hot in January. You can never tell.
That's true.
We could be talking about the Cardinals at that point.
Yeah, no, like,
Who knows?
the crazier things have happened. Like, then the Cardinals winning the Super Bowl this year.
That is true.
I mean, the Ravens were not supposed to win it 2 years ago. They looked awful for the first 8 weeks.
And people are talking about the Chargers.
There were about 15 teams in the league, which I'd say I would not be shocked if they won it 4 months from now, 4 or 5 months from now. But you'd probably say those 3 teams you mentioned, or these 4 or 5 teams you mentioned, are the favorites.
Oh, definitely.
Denver,
will say-
Green Bay, Seattle, San Francisco, New England.
The parity in this league year in, year out is just ridiculously good, which is why we're just so thankful football's back.
Oh, I love football.
Oh, I love football.
Just try not to think of Roger Goodell.
We're just going to sign off here for the podcast yet to be named. I'm Alex Ortiz. You can follow me at AlexOrtiz2334 on Twitter.
Wow, those are way too many numbers for me to remember.
It'll be here.
Maybe,
It'll
yeah, I
be
was gonna say maybe you'll put that in the
We're gonna have-
description,
yeah.
wherever the description is.
No,
It's
I'm
up.
just gonna
It's
have
in
it-
this area.
No, I'm just going to have the...
Right
Yeah,
here.
okay.
I'm Nick Fortin. You can follow me at Illini Sports Guy for all of your Illini sports needs. If you only want to check in with me every 4 months or whenever I tweet.
It's not pretentious at all.
And I'm Deep Chatterjee. I'm not allowed to share my Twitter information yet.
But
But you can probably find me if you really want to.
There's a lot of paperwork yet to be done. So
Yeah, well,